There's a growing drumbeat among some experts telling financial advisors to skip their why story. They say that your clients don't care about your story. Now, I think that advice is incomplete and could be costing you the trust needed to gain your new clients. Let me show you why. You see, the argument goes like this. Clients don't care about you, they care about themselves. And if you spend time talking about your personal motivations, you risk sounding self-centered. And you know what? There is some truth in that. But my experience in interviewing and coaching hundreds of advisors, when used correctly, telling your clients about your emotional connection to your value, why you believe in your value, can actually help you build that all-important credibility and trust. Now, let me be clear about this. Your client story is primary. Always. Their goals, fears, dreams, and challenges should dominate the conversation. If you miss that, no amount of storytelling will save you. But once a client feels heard and understood, a new question emerges. Who is this person I might decide to trust with my financial life? That's where your why story earns its place. The reason some experts discourage sharing your why is it's simple. Most advisors do it poorly. They lead with it, they overtalk it, or they don't bring it back to how and why it matters to the client. And that's the key. You've heard versions like, I got into this business because I love helping people. And that's not a why story, that's a bumper sticker. When your why feels generic or rehearsed or disconnected from what your clients have told you they value, it doesn't build trust, it erodes it. So yes, poorly used, your why can hurt you. Your why is not an opener, it's not a pitch, it's a bridge. Once a client feels understood, your why helps answer a few critical questions your prospective clients need the answers to. Do I relate to this person? Am I feeling heard? Do they genuinely care about the outcomes I want? Can I trust their intent, not just their competence? This is where trust shifts from intellectual to emotional. And that shift is huge. You see, trust isn't logical, it's biological. When clients feel understood, their brain reduces threat responses, less cortisol, and increases openness. Emotional connection, what researchers often associate with oxytocin, comes from shared meaning and perceived intent. Translation: competence builds credibility. Connection builds trust. Your why story, when used correctly, signals intent. It answers your prospect's question, why do you care about getting this right for me? A strong why has three basic parts. First, origin, where the belief comes from. A personal experience, a client moment, something you witnessed. Second, belief. Because of that, what do you now believe to be true about money, planning, risk management, mistakes, behavior, etc.? And then third, the client benefit. Why does this matter to them, your prospects and clients? Here's a simple example. Early in my career, I watched the family do everything right. They saved, invested, stayed disciplined, but when a health crisis hit, their plan fell apart because no one had stress tested the what-ifs. And that stuck with me. It's why I believe financial planning isn't about just average outcomes. It's about resilience when life doesn't go according to plan. And that's why when we build your plan, we're not just aiming for growth, we're preparing for the moments that could derail everything. Now notice what happened there. It was personal, but not self-centered. It had some emotion, but still practical. And most importantly, it tied directly back to the client. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Lead with their story. Support it with your expertise. And then strengthen it with your why story, your emotional connection to your value. If your why feels like a detour or a monologue, it's not ready yet. If, on the other hand, your why helps the prospect or client feel more confident, more understood, or more secure, it's doing its job. Remember, make sure your why always answers the client's unspoken question, why does this matter to me, and how does knowing this help me? Don't avoid your why story. Earn the right to share it by first deeply understanding theirs and then using it in a way that actually builds trust. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you deem it worthy, please share it with others. This is Bill Cates leaving you with the question, who will you be introduced to today?